Hello, hello. It's time for some piano. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is piano time. I'm so happy that we get to start our spring 2021 session today, right now. So if you are excited, give me a quick 1-second party, okay? Here we go. Yahoo! Did you notice I changed my tapestry? Doesn't it look pretty? I have some really big, beautiful flowers, so it's putting me in the mood for springtime. All right, well, before we get started, if you can like and share this video for me, you know that helps me every single time, okay? The next thing, of course, is subscribe, right? So you're already here, you're already watching my lessons, you're having a blast. Just hit that subscribe button right below this video, and that way you'll know when the new piano lessons are live, okay? The next thing you can do is hop on our Discord server. So we have so much fun on Discord, and that is the heart of my piano learning community. We are filled with super supportive piano learners from all ages and all levels. So if you want to join a place that's going to be motivating and supportive, this Discord server is the one for you, okay? There's an invitation link in the campsite in the description of this video, okay? And then last but definitely not least, we have Patreon. Right, so you understand now that Patreon is so important for me because that is how I earn my living. So if you find yourself ready to make that financial commitment, go ahead and subscribe to a tier on Patreon between $5 and $90 a month. I'd love to see you there, okay? Wonderful. Oh, yay, we have some people joining live. Wonderful. Hi, Linnea. Oh my gosh. Hi, honey. It's so nice to see you live. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, it's good. I'm tearing up over here. Partly probably because I'm wearing mascara today. Ooh. But maybe it's the pollen in the air from springtime, right? Yes, very good. Well, I am very excited to get started. But first thing we need to do, we have to review our song from the winter, right? So we had just finished learning The Greatest Show on Earth, right? You remember it, right? Did you use these last couple weeks to practice it? Yeah, I hope you did because it's probably going to help you, okay? So let me go ahead and turn to page 58 and 59. And we're going to play through The Greatest Show on Earth, right? Yes. It's a little tricky in that middle D position, isn't it? Yeah, it's really crazy. Let's switch to piano view and we'll play through it together, okay? All right. Oh, I'm so excited, Linnea. I'm so glad you're here. And there's a couple other people here too. So if you're joining live, go ahead and comment so I can give you a little shout out. Okay, so on page 58 and 59, we have our greatest show on earth. We're going to find our middle D position, right? Remember, our beautiful butterfly is not going to land on middle C this time, but it's going to scooch up one note to that D, okay? I have fanned out my fingers, and they are ready to go. All right, here we go. I'm going to count off. This is a march. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. is so, so wonderful. It was a tricky song though, wasn't it? Yeah, it probably gave you a little bit of trouble, right? But that's okay. That's okay, right? We know that with a little bit practice, we can go ahead and make those piano goals come to life, right? Did you remember all the fermatas? Yeah, you did. Oh, that's wonderful. What about those accent signs at the end? Did you play them extra loud? Give them a little bit more punch? Yeah, very good. That's wonderful. Now, you noticed there the second to the last line, that crescendo, right? That was like such a fun section. I'm so glad we played this one together. I bet it was a lot of fun for you. Bravo to you. Okay, we've got to do a cheer because that was like amazing, okay? So let me think of a really good cheer. Oh, yes. Oh, how about some spaghetti and meatballs? You want to do spaghetti meatballs? Linnea, you can do spaghetti and meatballs with us. You ready? Here we go. Spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti and the meatball. Spaghetti and the meatball. Oh my gosh, it's so silly. We have so much fun. I'm so proud of you and the hard work that you have put into the greatest show on earth. Now, I hope you're proud of yourself too. You should feel wonderful for learning this really tricky song, okay? Awesome. Let's get moving on some new music for this week. Let's see what's written here. We have Oh, that's okay. Hey, Lynette, it's okay if you haven't had time to practice. You find that time whenever it's easiest for you, and you can catch up with us, okay? I'm just happy that you're watching. Let's turn the page. We're going to look at page 60 now, okay? Now, on page 60, there is some really crazy, weird stuff, okay? We have something called measuring half steps, okay? Now, this is a way to measure distance on the piano, but it's just measuring from one note to the very next note, whether black or white. So it's a very small movement, okay? Now, if you look at the illustration in the book, you can see that a half step can be from a white key to the very next black key, or in some spots on the piano, from a white key up a little step, the very next note to the white key next to it, right? I'm going to switch to piano view so I can show you what a half step looks like, okay? Here we go. All right. Here we go. So let's take a look. I'm going to start just very basic. I'm going to look at my middle C, okay? So if we're starting here on a middle C, I'm going to say, let's go up 1/2 step, okay? So if I've got my thumb on middle C, a half step up would be this black key right next to our middle C. C, up a half step to a C sharp, okay? You see how I called it C sharp? Yeah, C, C sharp, okay? Now, we can also do half steps going down, right? So let's start on that middle C again. But take a look. A half step down from C is going to be the very next note to it. And look, it's actually a white key. It's a B. Okay, so let's see what that sounds like. C down to B. Okay, let's do that again. C down to B. Okay, now you can also measure half steps starting on a black key, right? So what if we chose the black key, the second black key here in the 2 black key group? That's the one on the right side. Let's go up a half step from this note. This is called either a D sharp or an E flat, okay? So, but this black key here, we're gonna play it. And then now we're gonna go up a half step. Up a half step would put me on the E. So first we've got our D sharp up to E. That's a half step. All right. Now let's start again on that black key, okay? But this time, instead of calling it D sharp, I'm going to call it E flat. And I'm going to go down a half step from there to here. So let's play that. Down a half step, down to D. Let's play that one more time. Take a look. And down a half step. Now, that can be a little confusing, okay? I'm switching back here. Don't be alarmed if it's a little confusing, okay? It's always very confusing in the beginning, okay? Now I'm going to say something that's even more confusing, but don't hate me. Black keys have two different names. What? She's crazy, right? Mrs. Izzy's crazy. Black keys have two names? Well, yes. Let me explain why. Depending on the direction that you're going, it's either going to be sharp or flat, okay? I will explain this in piano view, okay? Stick with me. I know it's tricky. Let's switch to piano view and you can see what I mean, okay? Now, remember when I talked about sharps being you're gonna play the next note to the right, whether black or white? Now, remember, if you're playing notes going this way, that means they're getting higher, right? Right? They're getting higher and higher. So, we call those going that way sharps, right? Because that's the direction we're going. So if I'm going to play my C sharp, that's what the name will be for this one. So C, going one note this way to the right, would be C sharp. Very cool, right? C sharp. Now, remember, with flats, they're going this way. It says the very next note to the left, whether black or white, right? That gives them the name of a flat. Now let's start right there. Here on the D, let's do a D this time, okay? So if I'm playing my D finger 2, and if I'm moving this way to the left, one half step, this black note would be called D flat, okay? Look, but that's the same note as a C sharp, isn't it? So it can be called C sharp or D flat, okay? You can see a little bit more detail about this in the middle of page 60, okay? It explains it a lot better, okay? Also, I'm giving you some theory to talk about this as well, so it's not so confusing, okay? But before we hop into a new song, we have to learn a new position, okay? And it's a really weird one. It's called middle D half step position, okay? Now, each and every finger is going to be a half step from the finger before it, okay? It's really weird. Both of our thumbs will be on D, middle D. Our finger 2s will be on the 2 black key group above it. 3s on the white keys after that. 4s on the white keys after that. And then that is our position. Okay, it's really bizarre. I'm going to switch to piano view and I'll get in that position and hold it for a little while so you can pause the video later on if you need to, okay? Okay, there's my middle D, remember? Just like Greatest Show on Earth. We have our finger 2s on these 2 black key groups right in the middle. Our finger 3s, left hand 3 on C, right hand 3 on E. And then our finger 4s, left hand 4 on B, right hand 4 on F. Now, doesn't that look really weird? Notice I'm not actually using my pinkies. Okay? This is what it sounds like. There's a practice line at the bottom of page 60 that I'm going to play. I'm going to count off and see if you can follow along. 1, 2, ready, play. D, D sharp, E, F, F, E, D sharp, D, left hand, D, D flat, C, B, B, C, D flat, D, and then it repeats, right? Let me play it again without saying anything so you can hear it. Ready? Switch left hand. There you go. It looks kind of jumbled on the screen, I know. When you're doing a half step position, it can be a little bit close, right? But that's why we've got a really, really handy piano map that shows us exactly where those finger numbers go, okay? I'm going to show you that piano map right now. Piano map, middle D half step position. All right, there it is. Okay. Now on to our song for this week. Ooh, it's really good. Okay, it's called the Whirlwind, but I like to call it the Tornado just because it's cool, like really cool with the dynamics and everything, how it comes together, okay? Now, this song says allegro moderato, okay, so moderately fast, okay? It is in 2/4 time, so only 2 beats in a measure, okay? We have middle D half step position, okay? We also have some really good dynamics, okay? We have starting nice and piano, and then a crescendos and crescendos and crescendos and crescendos and crescendos, and then a diminuendo, 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 until nothing, right? At the end of line 2. That is to simulate a tornado, right? So we go, right? So it's like coming closer and then it's going away, right? It's really, really cool. So let's get into that middle D half step position and play through this song, okay? I'm so excited. Okay. All right, now let's get into that really jumbled, funny position, okay? I'm looking here at my piano map. Thumbs on D, 2s, 3s, and 4s, okay? I still have my fingers nice and curved, okay? Now, the very top line is just 1, 2, 3, 4 in the right hand. So we're going to play that, okay? The top line. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Ooh, and then the left hand comes in on line 2, and that does 1, 2, 3, 4 also. Very good. Oop, there is a repeat sign. Yeah, let's see if we can play that again. Now, I'm just playing for notes right now. I'm not doing dynamics. Let's hear it again. 1, 2, ready, play. Very nice. Wow, did you get through those first 2 lines? It feels a little bit fast for me, right? But that's okay. No worries at all, okay? You take it as slow as you need to here in the beginning, okay? Let's switch back to piano view. I'm going to play those first 2 lines again for you, okay? And I'm going to try and do those dynamics like my tornado. Let's try it. Okay. All right, I'm here. in my middle D half step position. Okay, let's hear what this sounds like with our dynamics. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Repeat. Getting louder, and loud. Softer, softer. Ooh, doesn't that sound like a tornado? Very good. Now, for line 3, the next section, we're beginning both hands finger 3. Now, remember where we are here in our half step position. My left hand finger 3 is on a middle C, and my right hand 3 is on E. So let's hear what that sounds like. Okay. And then I notice the 8th note pattern is just going E up to F, E up to F. Okay? So that first measure sounds like this. Line 3, first measure. Nice. And then I notice my left hand goes down a half step to finger 4. You see me wiggling it? And then we play the same right hand. Then the 3rd measure. And 4th measure. Very good. Now the last line is just like the first measure of the 3rd line. So those 2 first measures match. Now it gets a little bit weird, okay? Finger 4 left hand on B, finger 3 right hand, but this time instead of going up to an F in the right hand, I'm gonna go down, okay? So see what that looks like. B and E, then down to 2, which is a D sharp, down to D, finger 1 thumb, up to D sharp again, and then we end with a finger 3 on E, and then our left hand plays a 3 and a 5 on A and C. Very good. Cool. And then it does some really weird crisscross thing, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. Okay, let me switch back here. Reassurance time. This is hard, okay? You may have to rewatch this lesson video a couple times, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You also have me available on Discord to ask any questions, anything at all. It could be about fingers, it could be about dynamics, it could be about notes, okay? We can work through this together, okay? Let's start at line 3 again, and I'm gonna play lines 3 and 4 a little bit more in tempo, okay? Listen carefully. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, dizzy, dizzy. Ooh, this is a really tricky song. Now I'm starting with those finger 3s right there on C and E. And then we're going down to that B, okay? I'm going to count off. Let's see how it sounds. 1, 2. Ready? Play. Goes down and slows down. Very good. Cool. And then guess what? It says we have a pedal notation. Do you see that long line at the bottom there? So if you've got a pedal on your piano, you're going to press that pedal down when you hit that chord. Then there's a diagonal line with an LH. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to cross your left hand over and play E and C in your left hand. Ooh, doesn't that sound cool? Let me show you what that looks like again, okay? So I'm here in my half step position. I'm going to play that chord in the second to the last measure. We have E in the right hand, C in the left hand, and A in the left hand, okay? So we have that there with the pedal. Crossing over, C and E. Okay. Ooh, sounds cool, huh? Very good. All right. Now, like I said, hard song. Put the time in to practice it and it will start coming together very nicely, okay? Now, I didn't even talk about the dynamics in line 3 and 4. It also does the same sort of tornado feel, right? It's right? Yes. It's really, really cool, all right? As we're going through the whirlwind, the best and most important thing is this. Maintain the tempo that you choose, okay? So if you choose a tempo that's rather quick, you have to be able to play the whole thing without stopping that same tempo. At this stage in your practice and learning this piece, we're going to take that tempo really slowly, okay? That's fine. Once you know your notes and you are comfortable with those notes, you go ahead and start applying a little bit more of a quicker tempo as you practice, okay? But don't forget, it's not just about notes and tempo. We also have dynamics, right? All of those cool things that we learn all throughout our book, it's going to sound pretty amazing, okay? Now, to finish this, I want to play the whole thing for you so you know what it sounds like, okay? Listen very carefully. Rewatch this part of the video if you need to. That way you can get the sound of this song really, really good in your head, okay? All right, let's switch to piano view. We can do it, right? Woohoo! Let's do it together. Okay. So I gotta find that half step position. Here we go. Very nice. I'm in my spot. Now I'm gonna play it just like as if I was playing it for you, okay? Listen carefully. 1, 2, ready, play. Very good. All right. Nice. Oh gosh, did it freeze? I hope not. Oh no. Oh, that's too bad. Can you hear me okay, you guys? Can you hear me? Please comment. Tell me if you can hear me. Okay. All right. Well, I'm hoping that keeps going. Okay. Looks like it came back. Very good. Okay. I'm sorry about that freezing. I didn't even realize that I was so into the song. I'll play it for you one more time. How about that? Do you want me to play it again or could you hear it? Whoever's watching, I would love if you would comment and let me know. Okay. All right. Let me play it one more time. Okay. Let's see if it works with... I won't switch to piano view this time because it looks like that's the camera having an issue. Okay. Just listen. Here we go. Here we go, the whirlwind. Okay, that's probably better. Very, very, very good. All right, so we will conclude our lesson then. Very nice work. Here we go. Now, a couple things I can mention. We have some theory homework for this week, right? So I mentioned that before. Theory homework is really important this week, okay? All right, so with the theory homework, we're gonna work on pages 40 and 41, okay? Page 40, if you haven't done it before, is a note review, okay? This is a critical page, and I am saying that it's so important because at this point in our piano learning, we should be very familiar with all of those notes on the grand staff, okay? Now, I know some of you were looking for an additional something to help, okay? I actually found a very good app to help learn our notes on the staff. I actually posted it on Discord in the Software and Gear channel. So go check it out. It's really fun. All right, so page 40. And then we also have page 41 for homework this week, okay? Page 41 is very important. This is all about those half steps we learned today, right? Moving from one note to the very next note. Remember, depending on the direction you go, it's either sharp or flat. Okay, that's very important. All right, very good. You guys are awesome. Now, I am on Patreon. Yay, so Patreon's so wonderful and so fun. I love Patreon. I love the people that have decided to join as a patron, because those are those people that have determined that what I do is valuable enough to donate on a regular basis, right? So I have various tiers from $5 to $90 a month that are available for you to hop in on, okay? You choose what works for your budget, okay? This is not a requirement, but it is very, very important because it helps me keep bringing you lessons, okay? I have 92 people that have made that commitment to me monthly. I would love to see you join those 92 fellow learners, okay? Thank you. And then, of course, quick reminder, Discord. Please join us. That's the heart of what we do, okay? And subscribe here on YouTube. Lastly, we end every lesson with a music quote, don't we? I know Linnea knows. So our music quote for today to kick off springtime is from the English novelist George Eliot. And this is what he says. Life seems to go on without effort when I am filled with music. Now that's spectacular, huh? Don't you ever notice, like, whenever you have on a really good song or some amazing music, like the day passes by a lot more quickly than it would normally, right? That's like one of those cool things about music. You can turn on anything and it's just like, you get your chores done. You get your homework done. You get all kinds of things done. It's pretty amazing, the power of music. And it's not just for making you feel good. It's for giving you motivation too. I hope you liked that quote. I thought it was pretty great. Thank you so much for joining me for piano today. I'm thrilled that we're back and we get to see each other every Friday. I can't wait to see you all on Discord and on Patreon, okay? Take care, everyone. Bye.